It's now time for us to look at what the papers are reporting this morning. And we're starting with the Nation newspaper with the banner headline, Defection of Oborevwori Okowo to APC, a tsunami, says Shettima. 14 governors, senators, ministers received Delta's ex-PDP bigwigs. Why we moved. That is explained there. And then you see the other news headlines. WAEC NECO to adopt full CBT mode next year. You see that on page 28. Speaker backs bill on party funding. Page 5. Workers spending 5 months wage award for payment. Let me start with you, Etoma. If you look at this main story, defection of Oborevwori Okowo to APC, a tsunami, says Shettima. And he says one thing: there is always a time to take a path for the common good of the people, and whatever decision that we took was based on that common good and the need to change our path in the best interest of the state. I think that's coming from Governor Sheriff Oborevwori.
That's what he says, but was that decision triggered by his love for the people? That's a rhetorical question. But for such a big personality to move from one party to another party, it always has a very strong impact on the psyche of the people of the state. Yeah. You know, I know because my governor, my former governor, also moved from PDP to APC, and it was a commotion for like 2 months before things simmered. It is good for APC, but it's a dastardly blow for PDP. How PDP will gather themselves together and have a semblance of a party, time will tell. And
Veronica, and to think that PDP defeated APC hands down, you know, during the governorship election in Delta State, and you're now finding that party, you know, the people of that party collapsing their structure into the incumbent All Progressives Congress. What say that to you?
Well, like it is often said, politics is about interest, and it's the interest that they are seeing. We are not seated in the position they are seated, and so what they are seeing, they are already moving those who play kalu or what do they call it now? So they know how to make this movement so that it will interest them at the end of the day. The benefit will come to them at the end of the day. How this is in the best interest of the people still begs the question for me, because are you saying that so far that the state has not been benefiting from the center? So what more is the state or people of the state, what are they to expect that is different from what they've been receiving in previous times? I would like to see it, but is this healthy for our democracy? That's my concern, because parties keep collapsing into one party. Yes, they have come out to say that it is not a one-party state that we have, it's a multi-party state. Right. But how are the opposition making themselves so liable to be swayed into? Right. Because the APC, we did not know, coerced anyone, but then they are here saying, we just want to be part of you because we see what you are doing and we want to be a part of it. That's right. Is it healthy for our democracy? I do not know. Yeah, that remains to be seen.
RIA 2027 is already taking shape.
I said it a lot of times on this table, is taking shape drastically. And you know, I say something, politics is a dirty game. So if you are expecting clean politics, I don't know if you live under the rock. But my problem is, he made the statement, I saw the statements, but is it really for the people at the end of the day? That's the question we've thrown out there. So we want answers.
Right, Nigerian Tribune is next. We cannot face Tinubu in 2027 to work against him. That's according to Governor Oborevwori. Vatican announces May the 7th to elect new Pope. UTME, no rescheduling of exams for candidates. JAMB and World Bank water projects fail in Nigeria. Scarcity lingers. Let's move on to the next paper. This Nigeria. Sheriff Okowo, it's a political tsunami, says Shettima. Sheriff, now leader of Delta. APC, says Ganduje. You have to die by hanging. Court sentences late gospel singer Osinachi's husband to death over murder. Bayelsa, new associates demand probe of shooting at rally. Lord Police. State of the Nation, Lagos Governor Sanwo-Olu tackles Obi, says Labour Party leader contributed to poverty in Nigeria, the marketing country, with comments on misgovernance. So you see this forth and back coming from you know, a Lagos governor to the Labour Party, saying, you know, it's just one thing that we tend to never miss in the milieu of politics.
Look, we're going to have big names, you know, saying things against other big names from now on, and the intensity will keep growing until the election proper. That has always been the case. That's what we have seen. And it's really unfortunate, because I believe that politics should be based on ideology and not image tarnishing, you know, talking down on the next person and so on and so forth. But that's how it's been for a while. I just pray we change.
Mudslinging, or what they call rough fight, is part of politics.
Absolutely. It's been part of our politics for years. Governor Sanwo-Olu was speaking somewhere in Harvard because he was invited. And on the other hand, P2P was speaking somewhere else, I think at John Hopkins, and because he was also invited for a lecture. And when he was there, he was talking about the misgovernance in the country. And in response, Governor Sanwo-Olu is saying, do not demarket Nigeria. Because as a leader, yes, we have our problems. You do not see these advanced countries come out to speak about them, even if you are in the opposition.
They do that among themselves.
They do that within the country itself, and they address their issues. You never understand what's going on. But we find it so easy to speak about our issues out there, thinking that these people really have our interest at heart. No, they don't. They just want you to just be disintegrated and take advantage as much as possible, because our resources are what these people come to take.
And Ria, I don't know.
I'm saying that when you live in a glass house, don't throw stones, because I really don't agree with what Peter Obi went to do there. It's the same thing. You're making Africa look like a bad place. You're making Nigeria look like a bad place. People want to invest in Nigeria. So I really understand where the governor is coming from, because he was bringing out statements that it's not like you also did so much while you were governor. You know, there were so many things that are lacking from you. So you're in a glass house, but you're throwing stones. People will throw stones.
Well, he's no longer in government.
But your glass house will fall at the end of the day.
He's no longer in the glass house.
But my question is, wherever it is, even if it's in the mud house, it's still fall. But my question is, you know, I feel like when you are at such platforms, we should just try. We can deal with our issues internally, but we should try to make Africa look good. Try to make Nigeria, most especially,
especially when the people you're talking to, they only see Africa as a country. They don't know Nigeria, Namibia, Malaysia, etc.
China and other places. Those people don't even come out and speak about the
poverty that they face. Can you compare Anambra to Lagos State in terms of, you know, development and all of that? But then you compare Nigeria
no,
with
you
China.
cannot. There's no room for comparison.
Right. Now, moving on to the Nigerian News Direct. We welcome you as family, not defectors. Tinubu tells Oborevwori, Okowo, others. Above the nameplate, federal government to pay 5 months arrears for workers. Good news there. CBN order banks to adopt PAPSS for transaction processing. And on the bottom strip, Oshun 2026, Adeleke's commissioners, essays, dismiss defection rumor. Yeah, this story of defection will always, you know, surface, you know, this time round. The Punch newspaper is next with the screaming headline, NNPCL under fire as $897 million Warri refinery revamp flops. And the writers read, Warri refinery shut down, drags on since January 25th. And then Port Harcourt refinery struggles at under 40% production capacity. Just a few months ago, we were celebrating, we were, you know, jubilant as to the coming upstream or stream of these refineries. But here we are.
30th of December to be precise. And the then managing director was saying, people thought this is impossible, and now the thing is possible. 26 days later, you know, the facility had to be shut down for safety reasons. Because the main, is it heater or boiler or cooker that is used,
it burns the furnace.
Yes, that is used in refining, was showing some red signs, and they had to close it down for safety reasons, and it has not been reopened till now. Now, what is Nigeria losing? 128,000 barrels thereabout, 125 to 128,000 barrels. That's what we're losing because that refinery is not working.
That's right.
And when we also look at the products, the refined products that should have come out of that refinery, we are losing in thousands of dollars.
Very quickly, Veronica, I do not know. This is just giving those who are cynical as to the progress of this country more things to talk about.
Absolutely, and that is why when the government intends to take certain steps, it should do so ensuring that everything that is required are on the ground to ensure that whatever it is, be it a refinery, is working at the capacity it should. A lot of people went there to confirm if really this refinery was working, and they said, okay, some things are happening there. But as we speak, now that it is gone or it has been shut down, when is it going to be opened? How are they going to address these issues?
That's right.
We need some level of transparency in whatever we are doing so Nigerians can trust the government and its intentions. It is critical so that the people can work hand in glove with government. As it stands now, we do not know if repair work is going on and how soon it will be reopened. We are losing a lot, like Etoma has said.
That's right.
My question, apart from even transparency, accountability. So all the money that has been put, now my question is, where is the amount of trillions and trillions you were calling? Where is it? If it has flopped, where is the money? So of course Nigerians will ask, people will react like, what is going on, what is happening? And you know that if we don't have our refineries, we'll still be depending on imports.
We cannot meet up the targets that we have. And the other matter is that it seemed like we were in a hurry to prove a point. For who?
Well, we hope that the new board of the NNPCL will definitely address this, pronto. Let's move on to the next newspaper. Platform Times. Hold discos accountable for 112 deaths in 2024, CJN tells judiciary. Now, 50.1% of Nigerians' monthly income spent on food. That's according to report. People must feed. Federal government debt servicing swallows 144% of revenue in January. That's according to CBN. Where is that? Sonny Ade's children battle over music icons' whereabouts, well-being. We hope they find answers to... The children are looking for the father. Well, it's a story that we need to dig further into. But let's move on to the Guardian newspaper. And this is quite crucial. Institutional fees, 51 varsities, others embroiled in illegal deductions from student loans. Extra charges institutions make on each NEL fund applicant. You see that on these infographics with the logo, or what do we call this, of the school. Of these schools, the amount they charge, some even charge as high as 30,000 naira from what's supposed to be a loan, which is supposed to be kind of freely given initially to the students so that they were able to have access to education.
I mean, what won't go through this kind of practice in Nigeria? You want to join a paramilitary organization, you pay for before you get employment. You want to do this, you pay. You want to do this, you pay.
You want to secure a contract, you pay.
You pay. Everything, somebody is paying somewhere, and it's annoying. It is annoying. It's not just corruption anymore. It is endemic. It's as if it's part of the DNA of it's so annoying. This is student loan we're talking about. At the end of the day, who pays back the 30,000 naira?
Exactly.
It's sad that, let's call it what it is. It's corruption. Why are you deducting these monies? For what exactly? Because often at time, these institutions do not give an explanation for why they are deducting the monies. Is it a crime that the money came through you? Or is it because, okay, banks are deducting money, so we want to deduct this one from you because we need to pay or augment for the monies that are, being deducted? I don't know. Me, I'm trying to think for them now. Because it is not uniform. How do you, out of how much you are deducting 25,000, 28,000, 30,000?
2,500.
Yes, it is not paltry for a student.
No, some will say it's paltry compared to 30,000.
It is not. Why are you deducting these monies? It is loan, and the students need it for their education. Because they will, in the monies that they are using to pay for whatever fees, you are still the one collecting the fees from the students. So why are you deducting it?
We say this all the time. I think corruption has eaten so much into us that we forget humanity, we forget each other, we forget that we are our brother's keeper. And it's so sad. Even I agree with what Etoma said. In Nigeria, now you feel like you can pay for anything. Somebody will wake up like whatever it is can be done because you can. And these are things that we need to stop. I know that it's hard to eradicate poverty, but we need to try our best. Like these loans for children going to school, this is so below the belt. Below the belt,
really. Right, 2027, INEC seeks law to strip president of power to appoint Rex. And I think part of this is just to also ensure that people in the diaspora also vote, and persons with disability will also have, you know, their own special treatment and all of that. But it's a work in progress. We'll see what they come out with that. Let's move on to the last paper, which is the Sporting Live. Unity Cup in London. NFF Shell set for big fight over team selection. Barca, Liverpool, Man United contact Lookman's agent. Arsenal exploring surprise move for Okowo. Rashford to miss rest of season, and Liverpool announce EPL victory parade. Before we call it a wrap on this segment, anyone wants to chime in one of the things?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the Unity Cup. I know, I'm a woman, Biko, I'm a woman, calm down. Because
did I say anything?
You know what, he cut you some slack today, so he didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything.
So the Unity Cup is coming up in May. And Eric Shell, the Super Eagles coach, is saying that this will be an opportunity. He wants to try out new players, and he wants to also use that opportunity to see how the players can bond ahead of the World Cup qualifiers that will be coming later on. So he's trying to build a team. But as you often know, behind the scenes, there are always influences on the choice of players that come up, because people want to see their persons on the field of play. But he is saying, I want people and new persons to come in, but I need the team to bond ahead of the task ahead of us. So they'll be meeting Ghana, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago and all of that. So I'm looking forward to what will happen between Nigeria and Ghana.
No, let Nigeria win. It's okay.
It's okay. We're going to defeat you at the end of the day.
No, I'm saying that let Nigeria win.
Hey, you're not patriotic.
It's good you take that stand for your peace of mind.
She's just been humble.
No, it's not humility.
All right.
But I cannot go against the best country in the world.
Be mindful you're in London. I
didn't know you're a politician too.
We had a good time, and definitely I'll see you guys on the other side.
Absolutely.